Thank you, Dr. Halperin, for those warm words. And if it's not for you, I don't know if we'd be standing here tonight. The Rebbe always taught us that we have to love every single person, regardless who they are. It's thanks to Dr. Halperin that I had the opportunity to meet some wonderful people. In August of 2001, when we first arrived in Peoria, young and energetic, as my wife mentioned so eloquently, with a mission to meet every Jew that we can encounter, I walked in to the Kroger's on Knoxville and Lake. And I'm so excited that I meet the first person and I shake his hand and I say, "Good afternoon, I'm Rabbi Langston. Who are you?" "I'm George Jacob." He says, "You must be Jewish with a name like Jacob." He's like, "No, but I love the Jews." And I say, "And I love you too." And from then on, we created an unbelievable relationship. Myself and George have been known each other for 10 years. A mensch is an understatement. As we say, a tzaddik, a righteous man, definitely reaches that level. George is somebody that has done things for the community like no one has ever known before. But unfortunately, after his terrible accident, people have gotten to know a little bit about George. Well, I had the honor, and I take this seriously as an honor and privilege to have known George. George has been one of the only people who are not Jewish that can actually say, Chabad! And as every one of our menorah lightings, George always came as a representative from the city, from the mayor, to read our proclamation. It's only befitting for me tonight to recognize our Community Service Award to somebody who is an unbelievable man. Unfortunately, today, he cannot express himself as he would love to, and of course, maybe he wouldn't because he's such a humble person. But it is my pleasure, privilege, and honor to introduce the Community Service Award to a very dear friend of mine, Mr. George Jacob. Present this painting. Happy is the man that finds wisdom and the man that gains understanding. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. A man who makes peace and was always pleasure to be in his presence. The Community Service Award presented to Mr. George Jacob, November 20th, 2011, the 23rd of Cheshvan, 5772, Chabad Jewish Center of Peoria and of Bradley University. And a very special thank you to Janine, who's always there for him, an unbelievable wife. Every time I call, she says, "Rabbi, don't worry, George is always looking to see you." And I want to tell you a secret. Every time we always met, George always offered me a drink. We used to go, you know, he owns president of Budweiser. So he knew that, you know, maybe a drink. But we always gave me a drink of water. And he always welcomed me and always recognized me. Even after his illness, as Janine could attest to this, every time I met George, he always said, "Rabbi Langston," but only after a drink. Janine, how about we give him a drink, and we'll see if George will acknowledge us being here tonight. George, thank you so much for coming. Give me a hand.
Can you hear me okay? All right. On behalf of my dad, thank you. Rabbi, congratulations to you and your family. You have accomplished so much for the community here in Peoria, and the city of Peoria is better for it. My dad enjoyed spending time with you many times over the past year and a half. Rabbi came to visit my dad and pray with him. Thank you, Rabbi. It means so much to us. My dad is honored to receive this award. Thank you.
You know, George never let me down. Let's hope he can do the same. George, let everybody know who is the one that gave those vans that those campers at Camp Gan Izzy can drive around. George, are we going to say? Who's speaking to you, George? George, thank you. They say the story about the man that was was once traveling, and he stopped by a tree, and the tree gave him such shade and comfort. And he turned to the tree and he said, "Tree, I wish I can bless you. With what shall I bless you?" And he says, "I bless you that you should have shade." And the tree says, "But I already have shade." He says, "I bless you that you should have water going underneath you." He says, "I already have water going underneath me." He says, "I bless you that you should grow strong." He says, "I already have that." He says, "I bless you that the seeds of your tree should continue on just as good as you." Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the Generation of the Generation Award, we introduce a very special couple, Dr. and Mrs. Ira Uretsky, who have made sure to continue on those seeds of Torah. Ira made sure to purchase a pure tefillin for the bar mitzvah of his son Michael. And Beth made sure that her daughter goes to Hebrew classes to continue on that Jewish education. We have to make sure that those seeds continue planting. And then we are making sure that we have a generation to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you tonight our Generation to Generation Award, Dr. and Mrs. Ira Uretsky. Tonight's Generation to Generation Award, we present a challah board. As we all know, the family gets together on Shabbat. We started off with the Friday night Eishes Chayil. We conclude with the challah board. Generation to Generation Award presented to Dr. and Mrs. Ira Uretsky, November 20th, 2011, the 23rd of Cheshvan 5772, Chabad Jewish Center of Peoria and of Bradley University. May they be able to sit together with their family at the Shabbos table happily for lange gesunte Jahren, for long, happy years, and continue on that special Shabbos tradition as we sit together as one Jewish family.
I'm going to keep my remarks brief as the night is getting long. Quite honestly, when the rabbi came to me and Tom Halpern came to me and told me that I was going to receive this reward, you have to understand, if you're from New York and a Yankee fan offers a Met fan an award, maybe Mashiach is coming. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I think you'll find by this video that this video is worth more than 1,000 words, and if you turn your attention to the screen, you'll see how Chabad truly pays in Peoria.